Elon Musk needs to buy YouTube.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that, but it's owned by Google, so there's no way.
So
Anybody's
Elon
gonna buy
Musk
it.
had a town hall meeting. They were talking about Twitter, and then the dude started asking about Tesla, and he said, "So we're going to do 1 million cars this year?" And he's like, "Yes." I don't remember what the number was. He goes, "So that you know what that translates to?" And he's like, "What?" So we're building one car every 15 seconds. He goes, "Yes, that's correct."
That's crazy.
And he goes, "So we were talking to some mining company."
Uh-huh.
He's like, "Are we going to merge or acquire?" He's like, "Oh no, we're going to set up our own mining and our own refinery companies because the sources for the minerals that we need." He named cobalt and lithium, and so he said they're just too unreliable for the volume,
Yeah.
and they're too unreliable, so we're going to do it ourselves. So you know what's going to happen is the government is going to go after him even more because all those lobbyists from those mining companies and shit are in the government's pockets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if Elon Musk is mining his own, he will have a surplus and be able to sell to other and cut those people out. They're fucking super worried about what he's doing because he has the money to maneuver and cut off their fucking graft. Just like so they just the White House basically asked for 45 billion more dollars for Ukraine. So what did Congress approve? 85 billion. Why? Because the White House, the government's going to get their fucking piece out of that. Maybe they keep 20 billion or whatever, and 20 billion goes to Ukraine, but 20, 40, 80, it'll go over, but it comes back into their bank accounts. Well, all those fucking, everybody that just voted on it, they're going to get their cut. That's why they upped it. Fucking, they gave them more than double what they asked for.
Yeah. I wonder if...
Because they're going to collapse. They know the system is collapsed. We don't even have a United States as we know it. So that's why they're all setting up all these other fucking, resorts. All their fucking backup plans. That's why they're all building bunkers and shit. Do you remember now that Bill Gates is their little hero boy? It wasn't long ago they were going after Bill Gates when he was doing all this stuff.
When he was like buying up land and stuff?
Before that, but they were after him for something with Windows or some shit. I don't remember what it was. But you know also that Microsoft gave the seed money to Apple. Did you know that?
No, I know
for the first iPhones and shit.
Yeah.
They borrowed money from fucking Microsoft.
Really?
And lo and behold, fucking Apple's pretty well put Microsoft out of business.
Yeah. I mean, that's been the way it's been for years. There's a made-for-TV movie that's actually really good called Pirates of Silicon Valley, and it's about Apple and Microsoft like beefing as they started their company.
Yeah.
And it's just a bunch of dirty tricks. Like they stole everything from each other, and then that's why they're both the two companies,
Well, they're all fucking crimp. I mean, if you look at where did the money, where did Bill Gates come from, right? Bill Gates' his grandfather, his mother was the CEO. His grandfather fucking started and ran IBM, International Business Machine. There was an IBM, an International Business Machine, at every Nazi concentration camp. That's how they cataloged so fast and knew which Jewish folks were doing what and where their money was and their artwork.
Yeah.
That's because they could have never done it without IBM's complicit in that.
Yeah. Did you send me that video about the grandfather of the guy who started Netflix, or did I see that someplace else?
I don't remember that.
So the grandfather of the guy who started Netflix was apparently like a propaganda expert, and he's the one that started the whole breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Yeah.
And
because he's in it with Kellogg's.
Yeah, and he started selling everybody's breakfast. Like breakfast became important because of him. And then his grandson started Netflix, which is like another propaganda machine.
Netflix is tied in there with that Balenciaga shit too. Yeah.
That's like, it's so funny too, because when Annie told me about it, she was pissed. She was like, I don't think I have any Balenciaga stuff, but if I do, I'm gonna burn it. And I'm like, really? This is where you draw the line? Because this shit's been happening for years. And then we kind of got into an argument about it. And then now all I've been seeing is, this is just the tip of the iceberg. You should see what's been going on for years.
Everybody's up on. So then she should burn anything that she has that's Gucci.
Yeah, well,
I'm pretty sure Tiffany's in that conglomeration. Like everybody's in that fucking crew.
Well, I even pulled up. I couldn't actually find the listing. I think they took it down recently. But Build-A-Bear used to have that same stuff, like the BDSM bears. Now it's like. You can get a Build-A-Bear that's like drinking wine and shit like that, but before it was all sex stuff.
So did you see Chicago? Very prestigious private school. I'm not sure what grades are encompassed, but 14-year-old kids are definitely there because it just got busted out. Veritas just put a fucking video up of this fucking. I don't know how he fits into the school. What
He's the dean.
He wasn't the dean. He's some, but like okay, let's say he's the dean. He is giving sex ed classes to 14-year-old boys and girls, and he brings in lube and a butt plug and dildos, and he's talking about anal insertion and the difference between using spit and using lube, and he's bragging about this over and over to this fucking person that he believes is somebody else. Well, he's Veritas. And it's $40,000 a year tuition for the school. So some people got a hold of it. They asked for comment, and the school doubled down. They're like, "No, we support this 100%."
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, let's see what the parents have to say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny too is Veritas always does it the same way. They get some nerd to talk to a girl.
Hot chick.
Yeah, it's like if you're in some shit, don't talk to a hot chick at a bar.
This was probably a dude because this was a guy.
That's true. But
so today it came out. It was reported today. I don't know when it actually came out because most of these motherfuckers are 5-6 days behind on all this shit.
Yeah.
There's been attacks on power substations in Oregon and Washington.
Oh,
now it's weird though, because they didn't give any specifics, and they didn't say when. There were some pieces missing that make me think, hey, has any of this stuff happened here? And, well, yeah, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and they're trying to weave it to look like it's happening currently.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, so the most information I got about that is North Carolina, right?
Yes.
The most information I got about that came from a podcast whose the host is very liberal, so I have to kind of take that into account. And he was saying that what he found out was these guys that did it knew exactly what they were doing, and it only took like 2 shots per station, and they went to 2 specific stations to... like if they only got one of them, it wouldn't have mattered. They had to get these 2 to shut down the grid.
So I've only seen them say 2.
Yeah.
But verbally, I've heard a bunch of people say it was 3. And then when I heard law enforcement reading the press release or whatever they were reading, they said riddled, multiple gunshots, vehicles rammed. So who fucking knows what it really is?
Exactly.
But that whole place is full of SF. Any electric guy, if I wanted to do that, all you would need is one of these guys that works for the power company. Yeah. Any dude that works for the power company is going to know what's required.
Yeah.
Anybody that's been through fucking Jade Helm, any of the SF guys, any of those dudes are going to know how to do that.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
It's not to say that it's an SF dude. And I say that to say that whole area is all special operations, like fucking tons of neighborhoods there and around there. Pat Mack even, his house is fucking blocked out without power. He lives in that area. What I also haven't heard when they said 3 substations or 2 substations attacked, how far apart were they from each other? They haven't put any of that out either. And then also, they didn't declare they didn't declare martial law, but they did declare a 9 o'clock curfew, which is super weird because it's getting dark at like 5:30, and they're like, well, it's for the safety benefits because the traffic lights are out. We don't even have a fucking traffic light in this town. Like, what the fuck does that matter?
Yeah, it's funny.
It's just weird. And then S2 Underground pulled some reports from somewhere, crime stats, local current crime stats, and there was no elevation in crime. There was 3 extra incidents at like convenience stores.
So I try to see how the rest of the world sees this stuff, and it's hard for me because, you know, like you send me stuff and I've got other people who are always talking about it, but from what I can tell, not that many people actually know that this happened, which makes me think that they're covering it up for some reason. Like if it happened in...
Well, they're trying to spin it. So their narrative, CNN is putting it out as these were white Christian radicals protesting gay, lesbian, whatever,
like drag
LGBTQ. And it's because of the drag thing. The whole drag show thing, though, and the whole transgender thing, they latched on to the LGBT, lesbian. And when you talk to most, not that I know hundreds of them, but when you talk to gay, lesbian people, they're like, we don't have anything to do with that. They just fucking came and got their fucking rat claws in over here. It's not all the non-binary. No, you need psychological drugs is what you need. So it's a trip. It's a trip.
People always talk about how, like, oh, gay people aren't trying to indoctrinate your kids and stuff. Those aren't the ones that are out here doing this stuff. I know a lot of gay people. They're just living, you know?
Right.
Like, they're not out there teaching kids all this stuff or doing... Did you hear, you know, Kirk Cameron, his sister was on Full House. He was on a bunch of stuff, too.
I know the
back in
name.
day. They're big Christians.
Yeah, he tried to do.
Yeah,
he tried to do Christian Story Hour,
and they told
like
him
they're doing
no.
drag queen, and they
Yeah.
fucking told him no.
I can't believe
Now, where did he try to do that at? Right.
that. I have a feeling it was in the same
school
location.
district, maybe.
Yeah, but I don't
Maybe.
know.
Trying to tear us down, but me and my team, the last